And what do you think your people feel when they are with you?
I hope they feel that they own the company, that the company is theirs, and that they, what I call owner-operator mentality, that we try to treat people the same, whether it's the person who cleans this office or the president of the bank, we treat people the same because we try to build a sense of team. Because how do you differentiate from your competition? How are you better? Because people just don't work for money. Money's important, but people want to feel they're part of something that's a winning tradition, part of something that they can brand with, that if they emotionally get tied into you or what you're about, that you're not going to disappoint them. Whether it's our team on the playing field or our business people doing business in Africa, England, Chile, wherever, that there's going to be integrity, that the quality of the product is going to be the same. Because you know, when you do business, you have contracts, and nothing can ever, everything can't be covered in the contract. It's the spirit of trust. And so I can just speak for the Kraft family and how we try to do things. We try to make sure that everyone who does business with our family always feels that we're giving a quality product. And also, we try to make sure that when we do a deal, that the other side gets the edge. Not a lot, but that they get the edge. Because when you do that, more deals keep coming to you. And it works for us, except for the loss of my sweetheart. You know, I'm a privileged man. I have great sons, great grandchildren. I have great people in our organization, people of high integrity, and they share our same values. And I want everyone in the company, they know what we stand for and what we'll tolerate and what we won't tolerate. Because people, even players in our team who got away with nonsense, maybe on other teams, when they come here, I personally meet with everyone, look them in the eye, and I tell them what's acceptable and what isn't. If they do things to embarrass our family, our brand that we carry, they're gone. I don't care how good they are, because it goes back to the character and what we stand for. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou. It's just when you're dealing with a sense of team in any business, in a university, in a philanthropy, you want everyone to feel part of it and that you share common values. And what I've learned is that what defeats most companies or works against most companies is division from within. Politics, envy, jealousy, who gets the credit. So we try to minimize that, and we're private, so, and I have the privilege of cutting.
In your webpage, the Kraft Group appear having a partner in Chile called CMPC, Compañía Manufacturera de Papeles y Cartones. How did you end up doing business with CMPC, and how has been your result there?
Well, I give my son Daniel the credit for the development of that relationship. I've had a chance to meet leadership in CMPC, but to us, CMPC and the Mate family represents everything that we're about. And we try to find people like that throughout the world. I think there are people who are committed to the country, who have good managers, people who work hard. I mean, Chile is an interesting country. It's located geographically so well. And it's a gateway to so many different areas. But the people work hard. You have a good GDP. You have a stable currency. have a stable government. And to us, it's a privilege to have a relationship with the Mate family and CMPC for over 20 years. I remember when you had the earthquake there a few years ago, and the great role they played in rebuilding the churches and the schools and the roads, and they solicited us, and I think we made a generous gift, but we only did it because we believed in them. And we knew that they are in Chile what we try to be here. And we need more of that in the world. We need more CMPC Mate family companies. And I think, you know, we have a problem in America right now. We're not creating enough jobs, in my opinion. And I think Chile government I know our governor has a good relationship with your government, and I think maybe I shouldn't say, but if they haven't done it, I think they're about to sign some agreement in life sciences, and maybe it's been done already. But our governor Patrick is a good friend, and I've tried to help him in this whole international area. Has spoken to me a lot about it. We've talked about Chile as a great country to do business with because of its stability, because it has a good workforce, because it, you know, education's important, and you have people that care about the social fabric of the community, not just doing business. So it's something that we traditionally are very comfortable with, and we're honored that we've had the privilege. We think long. And I think the world has gone to thinking short too much. And the world is changing, so I don't mean to say you don't need to adapt and be flexible. But keeping strong relationships with people you can trust, whether it be your marriage, government, or business, I think is important. I think we've gotten away from that. I think there's a little too much narcissism going on in this world, and people only worrying about their only situation. But they should know it's good business that they worry about their neighbor.
What do you think, Robert, has been your major mistake? I'm not want to use the word failure because some failures are driven by a good decision. But what do you think has been your worst mistake in your business life, and the lessons you learned from that?
Well, I think early on, when I got out of Harvard Business School, I think I was probably too hard. I was trying to prove something, and I don't think I let the other side breathe enough and get a good enough deal. And then I realized if you do things so hard, or you strike such a good deal, and the other side doesn't do well, or goes out of business, or then you got to find someone else. So I think probably learning to let the other side do well when they did business with you and not have one-sided deals allows you to flourish and build, because if I'm doing business with you and you're doing well, you want to keep doing and you want to grow with me, then that allows me to go develop other relationships in Asia and Africa and Eastern Europe. But if I'm always I'm looking for low maintenance, high value, but integrity of the product. And when you give your word, you know, things happen, especially in international business, where you can always find lawyers who can wiggle around. Take the lawyers out of it. Look eye to eye. And so I think I learned to always, and I've taught this to my 4 sons, that we always make sure that people doing business with us are doing well.
Which are the key elements to make a group of people in general, and the Patriots in particular, to work as an outstanding team? What do you think are the key elements?
I think the most important thing is that you get all your key management to share core values. You know, something like the Patriots, you have 53 players, very talented. You have a coaching staff, very talented. You have an ownership group that think they know a few things. You have personnel people. You have public relations people. You have marketing people. You have a lot of people that think they have the answers. And the trick is to get everyone to subjugate their ego to what's best for the organization. And sometimes people have to play a role that doesn't play to their strengths personally, but plays to the strengths of winning and the organization. And getting people to do that. And then when things don't go right, not to point fingers. You stand as it's sort of like a family. It's like my 4 sons. Sometimes we get into some pretty heavy-duty arguments in-house. But when we go outside the house, we're a unit. And that's the same principle with a company. And most companies can't do that. Either the top management doesn't have the security of their job, or they're worried about protecting themselves with their board. I'm privileged. I don't have a board. I just want to do the right thing. I love business. I love people. I love doing international business. I love winning. And I'm fortunate to be surrounded by great people, people who share my values. And so it's nice to get up every day and love what you do. And you know, life is short and fleeting. I lost the dearest thing in my life. So you know that everything isn't there forever. So it's also important that you teach people in leadership positions that they have a responsibility to do random acts of kindness. Because that'll make them feel good, and the people you touch will feel good. And we don't have enough of that going on today, in my opinion. Maybe Chile is different.
No, you're right.